go. Greetings. I am Lies, and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal, and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together. Woo!
Yeah, let's play. The moment I realize it, the red fades from my vision, and I'm lying on the ground, back in the made-up lazarette.
But like in the lazarette, so not on the island, inside, maybe? Cortisone. Oh, thank goodness you're right.
Nadia pulls me to my feet, relief in her eyes.
Those creatures turned to red smoke and disappeared under your skin. Then you collapsed. I got to see you absorb them. Ew.
Okay. I glance down at myself, but there's no sign of anything out of the ordinary. And I feel fine. In fact, I feel better than fine. I feel light and free.
You are filled with red helium demon gas. You're fine, light and free.
I am suspicious.
Corazon, are you all right?
I seem to smile up at her. I guess I'm a little high right now, and slide death back into my pocket.
I'm also
shit, I forgot about this.
I need to ask, why are we looking up at her? She already helped us stand up. 'Cause you're short. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I am now.
It's okay. We know that our next MC will be shorter than the love interest.
Yeah.
Just to make sure none of this happens again.
Because it's frustrating.
If you are sure. I saw a door up ahead. I believe it's where we're meant to go next. Please, try not to collapse again. I'm not sure my heart could take it.
Somebody attacking me was me collapsing?
Yes, being consumed by a pile of monsters is you collapsing.
And then them absorbing themselves into my skin.
That's you collapsing.
That is me collapsing.
Dear Lord, you just fainted right on the ground after the scene in The Mummy with the scarabs.
And you're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder.
You bet.
Why did I do that? Seems strange.
How
It
weird.
was completely divorced from all situations that came before or might even come after.
Every swarming thing ever that just, consumes. You fainted. Don't collapse again.
Okay. I smile and reach out to take her hand.
Because I didn't keep holding it when she helped me up.
No.
For reasons.
I promise. I'm ready to move on.
You seem stuck on this, but I'm okay.
I don't know why I encountered this again. I think it was you.
Probably.
Probably
Nadia?
You. I have no connection to a thing that I have literally no connection to.
Oh, this is new.
The door leads further into the lazarette's bowels. It stinks. This place feels stinky to me.
Okay, but
familiarly stinky.
I'm still having this vague problem of going, if the lazarette is both the island and the building, but you say you're in the lazarette when you're on the island, how do you differentiate?
So remember how we had that discussion
I
in
know,
the
but
last
we
one?
go deeper into the lazarette. Are we indoors or outdoors? I want to know.
Well, and that's the thing. They didn't actually specify if we actually then got to the physical building of the lazarette, because as far as I can tell, it doesn't cover the entire fucking island. This isn't an island made out of prison.
And usually you don't say
death.
you're in the island. You usually say you're on an island.
Yeah, it's
so
fine. Familiar to me. I mean, you can say you go further into the jungle on the island, but you go further towards the lazarette, maybe in towards the lazarette would have been more acceptable?
Maybe?
I don't. But it doesn't instill the same fear it used to. I know these halls, these rooms.
Because I remember being carried through here as a corpse. Oh, sorry.
I was dead, but I remember it.
You don't remember when you were sleeping, but I remember when I was dead.
Hey! I came here once, in another life, trying to help victims of the plague.
Wait, you came here trying to resurrect the dead? Because no live people were here.
This is what happened in Julian's route, remember? So we're saying that it is actually canonical that we were a medical assistant.
I don't remember in Julian's route us going to where the corpses were kept to try and help the corpses.
That's what happened with the beetle Julian.
I don't remember that bit.
But victims of the plague, friend, doesn't mean dead. Victims of the plague can mean anybody who's been afflicted with it, even if it's like...
So we're saying they brought live people to the lazarette with the dead bodies?
Yes.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, especially since they've said the whole time that they've all been dead. We put the dead out here, not in the city.
Well, that's what I'm going. So we came out here to help the corpses?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying they're bouncing around again. We can't decide. They
we
did
don't
both.
know. It's both.
Trying to help victims of the plague. And then I became someone to help. I know, without a doubt. This is what I did.
So they were keeping
live
live
that
people.
wasn't me. You only remember this now and go, oh, this is familiar, but that doesn't mean that it is me.
Right.
I'm literally another person. It's kind of like an Overboard, where once she starts remembering shit, she actually still seems like a different person.
Actually,
because she changes everything about herself and her behavior, and even the actress changes her acting style. So, it is a different person.
I freaking love that. So there's a movie that I enjoy called Overboard. I also enjoy the remake of Overboard.
Yes.
It has some issues, but the thing is I feel like it handles them well, and it knows their issues.
Yes.
Like, I feel like it knows, yes, this is problematic, and we're portraying it that way as well.
Yes.
I'll say, what I love about it is you have an amnesiac character, and you have a romance story, and the amnesiac does not, like, fixate on trying to remember shit. They just get frustrated when the stuff they're told they don't remember sounds like it's shit, and they're like, my life was that bad? Always?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Uh-huh.
It's not like, oh God, I can't remember, I need to remember. It's really just like, that sounds awful.
Yeah. But I also, again, thought it was very interesting that even as much as she has her memories back, what takes precedence is basically her new life.
Who she is right now, not who she was. And she can't go back to who she was because she's developed a whole new personality in that space of emptiness, in that new openness. And that does happen. I actually recently interviewed my mom again. Specifically, I had to explain what dating games were to my mom, and that we were playing this game, and that there was this pervasive theme of amnesiac characters. And like she knows a lot of people that have memory problems, because you hang out in groups, sometimes you get to know each other, sometimes you go to the same doctors, that kind of thing.
Right.
And my mom has pervasive,
birds of a feather,
recurring,
together.
Amnesia, because sometimes when she has seizures, it will just blank out huge chunks of her memory, and sometimes pieces will come back, and sometimes they just won't. There are whole huge chunks of her life. Anyway, so I was talking to her about it, and she's like, you really don't meet a single person that's just trying to remember who they were or what they've done. What you meet is people that are just trying to get along in life, because the business of living now is so much more important than whatever may have happened.
Now, this is not to say that it doesn't potentially work up for the framework of going, what would be an interesting, basically, romance kind of trope or thing. If that's your goal, it can work actually pretty effectively.
Also,
I'm just
it's
sort
fiction.
of frustrated. Yeah, it is
You
fiction.
don't have to represent memory loss in any kind of accurate way.
It's actually one of those things that representation doesn't equal endorsement, nor does it claim that it knows everything about what's going on. Many authors actually make shit up constantly. So, I mean, we've been through this a lot, and we'll probably come back to this point again.
Probably every time.
Yep, every time. But I mean, just kind of overall, that is one thing sort of to keep in mind when you're engaging with fiction, is to not take it as, again, endorsement, or again, as educational. Because there is no requirement in existence that says that creators, artists, and that includes writers, in my opinion, have to basically educate or even do more than just entertain, or even be for you.
Yep, not at all.
Yeah, so
all that's required to be one of those things is to create something.
Yeah, exactly. This is where I died, and I still don't give a fuck. Nadia, apart my lips to a dresser, but she's not in front of me anymore. Panic does not shoot through me. It's fine.
I feel a synthesized panic trying to shoot through me. It is from this place.
Exactly. Synthesized panic shoots through me from a made-up realm.
Yes.
That is a made-up experience right now. Not to say that it doesn't have real feelings or
I feel as though I must look around for her.
Frantically, for some reason. Oh, there, I guess. She's against the dilapidated bed frame. Without thinking, I reach out to touch her.
Okay.
And I see what Nadia sees. Hundreds of corpses, standing in every spare inch of this room, and the ones beyond.
The corpses are standing. Not laying, not toppled, not piled. They're all standing there like zombies.
That works for me.
No, I just
it's
find
that realization in that dream logic where you go, these are all dead people, and they're all, like, these are all corpses, and they're all looking at me.
And I get
standing.
that. I'm like, that's a little intense. Not a gripe, just a whoa.
Yeah, just they're there.
Whoa. Yep.
A lot. Some of them have burnt skin and blackened hair. Others are still in the throes of the Red Plague.
How do you be in the throes of the Red Plague when you're already dead?
I was actually just going to say that. How are you? Because to get the plague is to eventually die, and then the plague stops because you have now accomplished the task.
Because you
of the highly contagious disease jumping from one host to another.
But the thing is once it kills you, you can no longer suffer its effects and your body can't react to them. So, like, it can...
Are we also saying that there are living people in this group who are still suffering? I know they said hundreds of corpses, but let's be fair.
Let's say there are hundreds of corpses and some people dying.
In the process of dying, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or we can say...
We only see corpses, and then we look closer, and we realize... So you can have that thing of you're literally a dead man walking, even though they're not actually dead yet. So
because
you're not
they're dying.
Yeah, because you're in the process of death. So you could be like, I know you are all going to... Like, you are all basically dead.
You know
so
what?
To me, you're...
Magic, plague, or no, if you're keeping all of your corpses and your plague pits and your burial grounds and your funeral pyres and, like, mass corpse burnings in the same place as all of your patients and nursing, you're going to have problems controlling the plague.
Oh, absolutely. And it sounds like they had a real hard time controlling the plague, but also because they couldn't figure out where the source of the outbreak was.
Yeah, like I said.
Because, like Resident
Magic.
Evil, the bad people in charge were actually the problem.
Yes!
And
because it was capitalism all along.
Because it was unrestrained corporate greed and also warmongering and everything. And also, actually, though, in Resident Evil, it goes about eugenics a lot, too, because you try to create the ultimate life form. And all of them are screaming at Nadia.
Oh, that sounds loud.
That sounds very loud. She doesn't even notice me by her side as they wail, begging her.
Begging her. Oh.
Why?
Why? Why? Why did you fail us?
It hurts so much. Please help me.
I'm sorry.
The crowd parts like a sea, letting a single figure approach us.
Is it me?
It lurches forward on uneven feet, a grimace on its familiar face. This one, it looks just like me.
Except for
uneven feet, which actually would work with, in this case with
would.
cortisone, because I still haven't figured out what it is, and I don't really care right now because it's not necessarily integral, but I just need to know kind of the symptoms to it.
Cortisone has a limp.
Cortisone has to have a limp, and I'm like, uneven feet would work really well,
It does.
especially when you're taxed that hard. At least in this situation for this imagery here. You could have saved me. I was in so much pain. I'm so scared.
Cortisone?
You look at it yourself, cortisone.
Cortisone.
Cortisone. Ew, I would never be dressed like that. Other cortisone. What is that?
Other cortisone. Hey, do I know you?
What the fuck?
You seem vaguely familiar. I know I failed you, but I can't change the past. What do you want me to do?
Stay here with me. Die with me. If you love me, you'll stay.
Here's a question. Were they involved before the original Cortisone died?
Honestly, who knows? Again, this is the devil's realm, so the devil's gonna make up.
Could be manufacturing anything.
This could be manufactured consent, as it were, for Nadia's basically destruction.
And or changing the rules of your history and the reality. Yes.
Yeah, and if you are currently still believing that this is actually the Lazarette, which we seem to be doing,
yes.
This is it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of like stay with me.
Stay just a little bit longer. Oh.
I wouldn't say that, or back off zombie. Back off zombie sounds silly.
Yeah.
Cortisone is good. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, no, Cortisone's always very to the point. I wouldn't say that. Like, very much.
Bullshit.
Yes!
I wouldn't say that.
Cortisone would also curse. They're fucking wrong.
You're fucking incorrect. Nadia looked over at me, relief washing over her face, like she's just now seeing me, because she couldn't see you above her.
No, you wouldn't. The devil needs to work on his fakes. He got you all wrong.
The thing is I wouldn't say that, because I didn't go to you like that. I came to you.
You came to me?
And so what it's implying there is going, you would never leave me. Why? I want you to leave me then if I'm no good for you.
Right.
Cortisone, abandon me if I'm useless trash. Because I would deserve it.
And
Actually, I think that's the one thing sometimes I find frustrated me about this. And also, like, where cortisone is sort of smashing in my brain against basically the romance trope.
Yeah.
Is going like, I went to you because I saw that you were capable and I believed you were capable of great things. If you somehow go beyond me, that's great. Because
Awesome.
I'm here to be used by you. Oh my god!
If I am no longer useful to you, I would drop me. You should drop me too.
And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the most healthy thing, but it's also a thing of cortisone going, I recognize your power. If I can be of any assistance to you, I would love to be able to do that. And the fact that I get to be involved with you at the same time is great.
How much fun is that?
You know, and also now you're going, we can be partners. You're going, great, but now you want me to caretake for you, and that's different.
That's different.
Head out.
I want to empower you, not help you take a break.
Yeah, pretty much.
He got you all wrong.
He swallows hard and looks at fake me.
I will admit, a part of me wants to go back to my tower and hide away. Another part of me wants to stay. I could stay here forever and wallow in my mistakes. Don't worry, Cortisone. Everyone's assured you this is your journey.
It's okay. We
I know.
we understand who's directing the story here.
It's okay. I could.
She looks over at me with determination and love.
But I won't. Because I have a future now. I didn't realize it at the time. But that's all I really needed. A reason to look forward, not back.
Haven't Cortisone vaguely, haven't we already gone through this?
Something outside of myself to care about. Because there was no reason to go on living until I had someone else to live for. Which is actually valid. It's not healthy in the long run,
yes.
But if it's all you can latch onto now, do it.
Which is actually what they say, even if you're depressed, or if you're suicidal, as it were, and this is a little dark, I guess. But the thing is even if it's something like it's a new show, or it's something you can entertain yourself with, even if it's just, you have to stay alive until the next Zelda game comes out,
If you have to outlive Mitch McConnell.
Yep, or if you have to outlive Donald Trump.
Yep.
Like, come up with your own reasons for existing. But the thing is not to stop there. It's a step in a process, is to then just keep going and find more things until basically it becomes an internalized, desire to live rather than an external one. Because the always big danger with external ones is obviously they go away.
They go away. I would say, yeah. And the thing is it's okay to have an external reason to live when you cannot find an internal one, because a reason to live is always good.
Yeah.
I say, but yeah, it's just you don't want your whole life hinged that way, because that's very much more tenuous.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, again, I will say that I feel like we did go through this before, but
same relationship thing we addressed before.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing, hashing it out again.
Back.
So you won't just leave me. You'll make me suffer alone.
I mean, there's hundreds of people here, really, so...
Cortisone! You look like you have a good crowd, actually.
You're not very alone.
Everyone's listening to you. Look, they all back away. I think you're the center of attention.
Yeah.
Nadia walks over to fake me, wrapping her arms around them in a tight embrace. The devil puppeting this. This is weird.
This is weird. The devil trying to pull the little strings on the marionette. They're tangled now. Wait,
stop that.
Stop it.
For a second, I think they're about to attack. But then they let out a little sob and dissipate into dust. We have touched the devil. All the other corpses shatter to dust behind them until we're alone again.
Well, that was quite heavy, wasn't it?
You processed that rather quickly.
We don't know how long that took between one state and the other.
We do not. I let out a startled laugh. That was fast. And then wrapped my arm around Nadia's waist. I mean, at this moment, actually, I don't think I'd feel like touching her much, because she seems like she's having her own thing. Yes. And I feel like Cortisone would be like, that's all right, I don't need to physically comfort
I'm here with you, but you really are having a moment, and grabbing you, even gently, is going to break you out of your sort of introspection.
Your reverie.
And I want you to have your moment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little assumptive. Again, you don't have to just touch everyone. It's
all
fine,
the time.
game. Yes, it was. But it's over.
It is. Isn't it?
I mean, I could probably say that line maybe 3 more times before we're out, but still.
It's okay. This bit is over now.
Until it comes up again.
Yes. This place won't hurt us anymore. Cortisone, it didn't hurt me, but I'll leave that be. Since I know this is your journey, you're right. Yes, good.
Yeah, yes.
Of
course.
If the devil thought this would be enough to stop us, he severely underestimated us.
Again, this is also, though, constructed. It can't hurt us! It was meant to slow you down / stop you, not necessarily just hurt you.
So,
and also it's not possibly your own background. The devil could just be lying.
Yep.
She pauses, cupping my cheek, and presses a kiss to my forehead.
Leans out, presses a kiss to your forehead.
Or you go like this, because you're like, I don't want you to kiss me right now.
I know, right? Especially you, Cortisone. Not even death could stop you.
I thought there was Esra. Because that was Esra's fault.
And your actually, fault. Death stopped me a lot. It took like 8 other people to not stop it.
6 based on...
7
if you're going to include the fool.
And possibly death because you were defying death.
That's true.
And possibly whatever Arcana you all invoke because you were attached to them. Could have been a lot of people.
Yeah, could have been.
It's a group project, really.
Cortisone Quip Project. You get a little sticker. A minus.
Everyone does their group project here. They do the ritual in the ritual room. Corazon appears. You know, the overseer of the universe goes, "Good job, everyone. A minus.
Yeah, exactly.
Your group project, you've turned it in. Well done.
I'm so proud. And you all work together. Amazing.
Yay!
Not even death could stop you. Yay.
Everyone, well, I don't know if Muriel pulled his weight. He was rather quiet in the discussion bits.
I hate that. Sometimes I'm like, the thing is you don't need everyone to contribute something, because believe it or not, sometimes a good idea is just a good idea. I've always found that to be frustrating in discussions, where it's like, sometimes you go, you guys, there's no dialogue to have here. Murder is wrong.
I know, and sometimes
people go, no, let's give both sides to the argument. No, Nazis are bad guys. Like, this is not an equivalent conversation.
And when somebody comes to a group project and they're like, hey, what if we fill in the blank? And everyone goes, wow, that sounds amazing. We should do that. You don't then need to go, well, let's open the floor for other ideas just in case.
Right?
If you're all feeling it and it sounds like it fits the bill, go for it.
And it's something you all really want to go for? Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I brush a bit of dirt from Nadia's hair, smoothing out some of the tangles that clearly she got artistically for her own dishevelment in this own made-up place where she can look like whatever she wants.
Corazon, is that rubble?
That you wanted there? Can I take your rubble from you?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's not try to die anyways, if it's all the same to you.
Huh. Agreed. I haven't done it yet, and I hear it's not a good time.
I don't remember, so honestly, I don't care.
Now, let's go. We must be close if he pulled out.
He's pulled out.
I'm sorry.
He pulled out.
The devil pulled out. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Nadia's like...
I mean, adding the rest of that line to "he's pulled out," like a zombie. Yeah.
But also, we must be close if he's pulled out. But the emotionally traumatizing zombie card already. I'm sorry, I just lost it if he's pulled out. Here we go. We must be close if he's pulled out the emotionally traumatizing zombie card already.
That sounds very gross.
We have a word for zombies.
Yes, we do.
That sounds like... So, from my understanding, unless you write fiction about zombies, the only thing for zombies is religious connotations. And we know nothing about anybody's religion or spiritual practices at all. So, like...
Well, and it's also the question of, do you believe, basically, in ghouls? Because ghouls actually exist, for example, in other cultures. They don't use them very much in American media anymore, particularly the United States. They did for a little while, but as far as I understand, they're actually far more common in other media. Because we just go, well, that's a zombie.
European.
Yeah, a little
for
bit.
True ghouls.
And that also includes, like, Arabia and some of those areas, like Islam and whatnot. They talk about ghouls. But I'm like, which actually more specifically eat corpses rather than living people.
It's true.
So...
Now, let's go. We must be close. Oh, there we go.
We exit the crematorium.
Where they used to keep the live people and the dead people.
Which all... It's okay. I think, again, it's supposed to be that dream thing probably coming together. It just sounds really off. If you're taking it at face value... My whole brain is screaming, going, why?
I was going to say, I'm hoping this is just basically a complete manufacturing by the devil and not accurate in any way.
Yeah.
Because if what their city did was have literally, here's the death room, here's the crematorium, and on half of each of them, all your living people who are dying slowly of the plague are there, and your doctors are going there to treat them, that's insanity.
Anyway.
We thought this batch was doing so well, and then somehow they all died of smoke poisoning. We're not sure why.
I mean, part of it...
Madam, I got the corpses all burned this morning.
Part of the thing is, too, is that what I feel like, vaguely, because I've sometimes heard people going, oh, well, you know, it was supposed to be based on basically an earlier idea of technology, which is incredibly fucking subjective, because technology doesn't just raise up in a straight line for, quote, getting better. So to put it that way seems odd. And also at the same time, too, we're actually learning constantly. I mean, at least I'm being exposed to constantly based scientists or historians going, yeah, y'all want to shit on the past, but that wasn't true at all.
They knew way more than we've given them credit for.
Yeah, like if you're going to talk about fucking people performing, like, complex brain surgery, or even performing a surgery on the brain at all,
it's been
like people
popping
like opening skulls and dealing with the teeth, like they've done some intensive shit, and we just go, they're dumb, and you're like, god damn it. Towards the back door, and when we swing it open...
We went out the back door of the shop, and now we're going out the back door of the lazarette.
And now he doesn't have interesting text anymore.
It's all the back
I really
door.
thought he did have interesting text. Am I misremembering?
Maybe it was only death.
Maybe it was just death.
Maybe it was just death. You know what?
I don't remember.
I was thinking about it, and I was wondering if somebody who was on the writing team for this has actually read The Sandman or Neil Gaiman's version of death.
Right.
Because she has a really distinctive way of speaking.
She does.
But it would be this sort of lifted combined thing, because only Delirium has a special font.
Right.
And so you would go...
Well, it's just basically
But
lifting
she's-
from Sandman, yeah.
I was wondering if it was a lift from Sandman, but yes, I think it was only Death that had the special font in here, now that I've thought about it longer.
Yeah. No. It took you long enough.
Yes, well, you see, someone put some roadblocks in our way. Don't know who that was.
There are no more illusions. We've made it to the center of the Devil's Realm.
It's red.
It is. It's very red.
He's very into red.
I still like the concept of what his area looks like. You're filled with red, and you have these just pitch black, gorgeous architecture that just stretches up.
Yeah,
and
it's just
terrifying.
all this mirror
And
black
alien.
obsidian kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it just picks up the red and reflects it.
It also feels very 80s, and
But
I
these
fucking
deep-
love that, you know, like the Conan the Barbarian stuff, where it's just really...
Or like Legend.
Or like Legend, yeah.
It does.
High arches of obsidian loom over us. Oppressive architecture that makes the very air itself heavier. Despite the fact that it is incredibly open, it is also incredibly oppressive. I love that
I love
contrast.
those. That's actually a really fun contrast. Being in a gigantic room that feels like it's suffocating you is an experience.
It really is, and in my experience, what you need, quote, for something like that is something that is very, very high, but the walls are very, very closed in around you, kind of thing. Or they look like they're very closed in around you. So you need to somehow, like, you feel like it's there, but there's no way of escape. So you feel like you're constantly needing to sort of like get up on your toes. So I've walked into like large churches before, or big, huge just structures, and it's just a specific way that you do that where you're just like, you feel very penned in, but you're still like forced to stand up straight. It's very uncomfortable sometimes. And in the center of the room, the devil waits for us, sprawled across his throne.
Okay, I'm just imagining him in
he's-
like the Jareth pose,
Yes.
just, you know, one leg up over the edge, you know, just leaning back over the side of the armrest. and just
Sexy
being
furry
like,
goat man.
Yep, what?
Yes?
God, you took forever to get here.
I must commend you. I underestimated you. Still, you're about to lose. What a shame. We could have had such fun.
So imagine him draped across, you know, the two armrests on the throne, like, you know, elbows on one of them, you know, as his head leans back
Elbow
over
on,
it.
not elbows.
Obviously, if he's laid straight
Yeah,
back.
oh, that's
I was
fair.
gonna say, looking over at you, and then, you know, his knees over the other one, kind of thing. And then he just, like, swings one leg off, and then scoots around and just sits up. And then stands up. It's a very sassy kind of, like, possibility, you know?
We could have had such fun. He gets up from his throne. And
Sassily.
walks towards us.
Sexily.
Yeah, it's sassy, sexy furry.
Saucily.
Everywhere he steps, inky ichor oozes from the ground, leaving dark pools behind him.
It's a triple S maneuver.
I'm trying to actually remember, like, the effect is common, but I'm trying to remember where my brain is, like, I think I remember specifically characters walking and it causing eruptions of, like, black specifically. And I'm trying to remember if it was, like, even a live action, and if it was just a cartoon I watched once.
I've definitely seen, like, black reflective pools in a lot of various things.
Oh, yeah,
but,
well, the thing is, the effect is cool as fuck. You know?
It is.
Who
It
cares?
looks really cool.
Pools
Obsidian mirrors are just cool.
behind him.
You haven't beaten us yet. In fact, we've matched you every step of the way. And if you're saying none of this was fun at all, then, God, you're hard to entertain.
Matched me? How cute. I was simply trying to be polite.
You say that now, but you also say that you're disappointed that we're here, so, sir.
I can see clearly now this was a mistake. Very well, I see there's no more games.
I'm still like, what's with your red scarf, sir?
I don't, his design is fun. Again, it's very simple, actually, which I think is fascinating. Like, and his simple design, I think, is far more effective.
So, I love the rest of his design.
Uh-huh.
The sort of jaunty red infinity scarf is just funny to me.
Is it?
Yes. It doesn't work
so?
with, I don't know how to put it. So, like,
I think it works fine.
Like, his design is very, very crisp in a lot of ways. Like, you have sharp edges on the horns, sharp edges on the, like, black lines, you know, of his, you know, like, patterning, as well as, like, you have the sort of, like, you know, priest sort of, like, shoulder thingy that I can't remember the name of, but has a special name.
Oh, the tabard? No. Tabards go over the head.
Yeah, I would say, but it's a...
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Special draping cloth.
It's the
yeah,
it's
I'd say, and that's very smooth, very clean. And then this is just sort of rumpled and draped around. It doesn't fit for me in the design scheme.
Really?
I want it to be either angular or I want it to be a full, like, gown kind of thing. Not just a cute little scarf.
Well, I mean, and for me, the reason I find that it works is it kind of breaks it up a little bit with the design, because if it was too sharp, I feel like actually he'd be a little boring. Because there's not much detail otherwise, and sort of adds this basically line of red, so it brings your attention back to his chest. Because otherwise, you're not really having that red brought in like with his eyes.
See, and I like the idea of having something there. I just feel like that's not the thing to have.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
No, that's fair. I would be curious because again, like his design is one of the ones I've actually liked the most out of them. And like there are a couple of the ones I like. But I feel like the simplicity still doesn't work as well for the other ones. Like, I really want some of the Arcana to be ridiculously, like, I want them to go on a massive, like, bizarre scale of everywhere.
Pitching a casual wardrobe redesign for him. Also, like,
yes,
he's nude.
He is very naked, and that's fine with me.
That's okay. I'm just like, you know, below the waist.
If you ever played the game, the Dante's Inferno, there is totally a naked boss in there, and it's fascinating. And there's just dick. And actually, a lot of people were like, oh my god, like, it's actually one of the really notorious, like, why did you make this boss decision thing? It's very interesting.
That's amazing.
Very well. Enough games. But we'll have to have time for more games in the next one! Oh! Hey! So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you have actually any ideas or any different designs for the Arcana that you've ever come up with, we would love to see them. Now, again, I'm going to have to put a caveat here real quick before I issue this sort of call for just kind of a soft art challenge. It's not like anything big.
Or if you have stuff that you've already done, we'd love to see it, but as long as there's no spoilers.
Spoilers, or also Arcana we've never seen, which counts in my brain under spoilers.
Yep.
So if we've never seen it in either playthrough, you cannot show us the design.
Please do not. Thank you.
Please feel free to share them with each other, but you would have to warn us if you're going to post them to each other. But yes, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share our stuff, interact with it. It actually does a lot in regards to YouTube algorithm. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, our Patreon, and our Twitch. There are links in the description down below, and I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye-bye.
Bye.